Hey guys, welcome back to Red Box Racing and 4x4. Today I'm going to be putting an oil cooler on my FRS. It's not as much of a problem on the 2016s and later because they changed the some orifices in the engine. So when the oil gets hot, it doesn't drop oil pressure. On the earlier models, they have a tendency to do that when you get them really hot, which is not uncommon for racing like autocross and stuff like that, but it's a nice peace of mind. It can't hurt to have one, so we're gonna put it on. I've already done most of the work to get the bumper off because you guys have seen that. There's millions of videos on YouTube on how to take the bumper off, so I'm not going to bore you with that. We're just going to get straight into it. Yes, I know the styrofoam was missing. When I put the front end back together, I forgot to put it in. So anytime you're installing parts that are in your oiling system, I don't care if it's new or used, you have to be absolutely fastidious in making sure there isn't little pieces of grit and stuff in things. Otherwise, you got a car that doesn't run anymore. Like, see, this kind of stuff, no good. You have to take that over to the solvent bath and air compressor to clean that out. Alright, so we got this all cleaned up. I cleaned it in my solvent bath, which I'll show you in another video or maybe later in this one. Then I blew it out with the air compressor after scrubbing it in the solvent bath. Then sprayed down with brake cleaner and then blew that off. The brake cleaner is just to get rid of any solvent that's left, because the solvent won't really flash off very well. Maybe some do, but the particular brand of stuff I have in there doesn't seem to. So the common sense side of me is telling me this is a good idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-fill the oil cooler to reduce the amount of time that the engine has to sit there pumping oil through into this thing.
A few moments later.
Well, not too bad. Only 5 or 6 drops of oil spilled. I'm gonna call that a win. So one thing I always do with aluminum AN threads is I always put a little oil on. I didn't have to in this case because I did by accident. But I just find that it stops the aluminum from galling up. If that's not a good idea and someone knows why, please chime in the comments. I'm definitely open to learning, but my experience with dirt bikes and downhill bikes is that with aluminum on aluminum threads, if you don't put something on them, they tend to gall up. And when that happens, you're pretty much screwed. Now I know it's not an aluminum wrench, and it's gonna mar the aluminum. So one thing I'll note is in the instructions for these, they say to drill through both this bottom flashing and this part. I'm going to tell you a secret. This bottom one comes off and there's plenty of space where you can just drill through and use shorter bolts. And that's going to be better. A, it's lighter by a couple grams. B, The reason I like this better is if you do it the way the instructions say, you're gonna have a cavity in there between two pieces of plastic, right? Now that plastic can move. So that means the threads of the bolt, they are going to lose their load as the thing vibrates around. And in my opinion, it'll be prone to coming loose. Now, I don't really have any science to back that up. That's just what my experience has taught me. Alright, it's all mounted up. All topped up the foil. I'm just letting it run for a little bit before I put everything back together to make sure there's no leaks. Alright, so it's all installed. This is actually a week later. I forgot to film the intro. You can see filter or cooler, a little sandwich plate and spacer there. It is a thermostatic cooler. That's what is in the sandwich plate, so that it can get up to temperature before it starts using the cooler. For some reason, one of the AN fittings was weeping, so I backed it off, reseated it. Now it's good. Oh, excuse me. So this has been working well. I do have an open flash tablet, so I've been monitoring oil temps, and on my daily drive, the temps dropped about 20 degrees. No, that doesn't sound like a lot, but it is what it is. When you're out on a track and the oil is getting hotter, it'll cool it more. Just because your temperature difference across the oil cooler will be higher. But in my daily drive, the oil temps don't usually get past about 180. Peanut.